What if we could hold a piece of Mars in our hands? That's exactly what NASA and ESA are planning with the Mars Sample Return mission, a bold and historic step in space exploration. In 2021, NASA's Perseverance rover landed in crater and began collecting rock and soil samples in sealed titanium tubes. These samples may hold clues to ancient Martian life. But here's the amazing part. The next phase will actually bring those samples back to Earth. A future lander will arrive on Mars, retrieve the sealed tubes, and launch them into orbit around the red planet. Then, an orbiter from the European Space Agency will capture the container in space and carry it back home, traveling millions of kilometers through space. Once on Earth, scientists will analyze the Martian soil in ultra-clean labs to unlock secrets about Mars history, climate, and maybe signs of past microbial life. Narrator inspirational tone. This mission will be the first time we've ever returned material from another planet, a true leap for science, and a giant step closer to sending humans to Mars. Follow us for more updates on this groundbreaking journey. Because space isn't just out there, it's our future. Once it lands, it'll deploy either a robotic fetch rover or mini helicopters to retrieve the sample tubes Perseverance left behind. Then, those samples will be loaded into a small rocket, the Mars Ascent Vehicle, and launched into Mars orbit. Yes, you heard that right. It will be the first rocket ever launched from another planet. Waiting in orbit will be the Earth's return orbiter, built by ESA, ready to capture that sample container, secure it, and fly it all the way home if everything goes according to plan. We'll have those samples on Earth by the early 2030s. And why does that matter? Because these aren't just rocks. They are time capsules. They hold secrets about Mars, ancient climate, its geology, and maybe, just maybe, signs that life once existed beyond Earth. This mission could answer one of humanity's biggest questions. Are we alone? And it's more than science, it's preparation. Every step we take with missions like this brings us closer to the day when humans will walk on the surface of Mars. So when you look up at that little red dot in the night sky, remember, part of it is coming home. Around 2027 or 2028, NASA plans to launch a new spacecraft, the Sample Retrieval Lander. It will land near Perseverance and send out a small fetch rover or even mini helicopters to collect the sample tubes. These tubes will be loaded into the Mars Ascent Vehicle, a rocket that will launch the samples into orbit, a historic first from the surface of Mars. In orbit, another spacecraft called the Earth Return Orbiter, built by the European Space Agency, will capture the sample container and begin the journey back to Earth, if all goes to plan. These Martian samples will land on Earth. In the early 2030s, scientists hope to examine them with powerful Earth-based labs to answer a big question. Was there ever life on Mars? This mission isn't just about rocks, it's about unlocking the secrets of a whole planet, and getting one step closer to sending humans to Mars in the future. Have you ever dreamed of holding a piece of Mars in your hands? That dream is about to become reality. NASA, in collaboration with the European Space Agency, is working on one of the most ambitious space missions in history, the Mars Sample Return mission. Join us as we explore how scientists are planning to collect, launch, and return actual pieces of the red planet right here to Earth. Our story starts in 2021, when NASA's Perseverance rover touched down on Jezero Crater, an ancient lakebed believed to once hold water. Why this spot? Because it's one of the most promising places to find signs of ancient microbial life. Since then, Perseverance has been drilling into Martian rocks and collecting samples, not just any samples, but carefully chosen ones, that might tell us the story of Mars' climate, geology, and whether life ever existed there. These samples are sealed in titanium tubes and safely stored inside the rover waiting for a ride back home. So, how do we get them back to Earth? Here's the amazing plan. In the late 2020s, NASA will launch the Sample Retrieval Lander, a spacecraft that will land near Perseverance. This lander will carry two incredible pieces of technology, a small rocket called the Mars Ascent Vehicle and a couple of sample recovery helicopters, similar to the helicopters will help fetch sample tubes, or if all goes well, Perseverance may deliver them directly. Once collected, the samples will be loaded into the rocket, which will launch from the surface of Mars. Yes, the first rocket ever to lift off from another planet. In orbit, a European-built spacecraft called the Earth Return Orbiter will capture the container, seal it safely, and begin the long journey back to Earth. The return trip to Earth will take several months. Once near our planet, the container, sealed in multiple layers of protection, will be released into Earth's atmosphere and parachuted into a remote desert landing site. But that's just the beginning of the real science. In some of the cleanest labs ever built, scientists will examine the Martian soil, rocks, and dust. These samples could reveal the planet's ancient climate, volcanic activity, water history, and most importantly, whether microbial life ever existed there. This kind of deep analysis simply isn't possible on Mars with current technology. That's why returning samples is a game changer. The Mars Sample Return mission is more than a science experiment. It's a stepping stone toward the future. It could answer one of humanity's oldest questions. Are we alone in the universe? It will also help scientists prepare for future crewed missions to Mars by giving us a better understanding of the environment, resources, and potential hazards. In short, this mission isn't just about Mars, it's about unlocking the secrets of our own solar system and preparing to explore it even further. Thanks for watching. If you're fascinated by space, science, or the future of humanity beyond Earth, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. Mars, it is coming home and the journey has only just begun.